Well, as I've mentioned several times already in our celebration, this week we're celebrating Catholic Schools Week, and we're so blessed here at St. Joseph to have this school. It's the oldest continually operating Catholic school in the diocese. It's been here for 173 years. That's right, 173 years. It was started by a group of German farmers, and it was a one-room wooden schoolhouse. Think a little house on the prairie, and the classes were taught in German. And then in the middle part of the last century, it became a huge territorial school with 400 kids crammed in the building, and they'd walk to school in the morning, they'd walk home for lunch, and they'd come back in the afternoon. And now we have about 145 students, and they're from all over the area. And it's a very interesting demographic because I think about 90% of our students are minority students, about 85% of them are non-Catholic students, and most of them, a vast majority of them, live below the poverty level. So it's a school that has children with great needs. And sometimes we're challenged, people say, well, why are you operating a school for kids that aren't Catholic? And I like to quote the late Cardinal Hickey from Washington, who was challenged the same way, and he said, they're not in our classrooms because they're Catholic, they're in our classrooms because we're Catholic. That's our mission. And so many of them come from challenging circumstances, but if they're with us long enough, well, they graduate, they get into the high school of their choice. Almost every 8th grader does that, and many of them win scholarships, and most of them go on to college. And I know in my heart that if they weren't with us, many of them would not finish high school. So it's a real mission. We're giving them a kind of a life raft, a leg up for the future. So we're celebrating Catholic Schools Week, but this year it's especially important because every time we do this, we have what we call our Be a Star collection. But this year it's even more critical than ever. You see, so many things have happened, as you know, with the economy and with COVID and everything. And with the diocese in Chapter 11, our assessment to the diocese has nearly doubled, and we've lost our diocesan subsidy to our campus ministry program. So we're talking about, nearly $320,000 being taken out of our budget because of those circumstances, plus, the rising cost of utilities, and the fact that we've made a commitment to try to pay our teachers a living wage. So it's putting a real strain on our budget. And I made a promise, never at these online masses, to talk about finances. And I think I've kept that pretty well over the last couple of years, but I'm not talking about them for the parish. I'm talking about them for the school and for our kids. And so I think this is a little bit of an exception, and the situation is really critical. And we need your help. If you're one of our parishioners, just 1 second, if you're one of our parishioners, you probably received in the mail one of these brochures, and it explains the Be a Star program. And I hope you'll have time to read that and to prayerfully consider what you can do. And if you're one of our virtual parishioners, some of you have been very generous in terms of sending us donations, but we'd like you to think about our school and our kids. You can go on our website, stjosephbuffalo.org, to see this brochure, or I think they're going to put what they call, I'm not very tech savvy, but I think they call it a QR code on the screen, and you can go on that and you can read this brochure, which will tell you about the new opportunities for supporting our school. You could do maybe some planned giving, you could do a one-time gift, or you could do a pledge over the coming academic year, maybe to support a program, or maybe to help some really kid with in very difficult circumstances, help them with their tuition. Whatever you can do, if you can do anything, it's going to be deeply appreciated by our students, by their families, by our teachers, by our administrators, and by the whole parish. So thank you for that. And remember, when you go to bed tonight, take your shoes off and look at your feet. And no matter what they are, if they're arthritic, if you have bunions, if you have athlete's feet, no matter what they are, if you bring the good news to the poor, they're beautiful. God sees them as beautiful, and God sees you as beautiful. Thank you. God bless you. Stay well and stay safe.
And who may go up the mountain of the Lord? Who can stand in his holy place? The clean of hand and pure of heart, who devoted their lives to him. They may go